maybe you would just pay attention to the next presentation, which is literally about education in school.
Really?
Yeah.
Will I get smarter?
Yes. So can we pay attention and introduce Thomas whatever his last name is, Thomas Lesnikow, and how education works across the globe. Please let us introduce lessons learned from schools across the pond.
Good evening, everyone. How many people here speak a language other than English? That's a decent amount. Now, how many of you have studied in a different country? Well, I almost forgot to introduce myself. My name is Thomas Lesnikowski, Lesnikowski, Leshnikovsky. Can you say that? Both of my parents were actually born and raised in Poland. Ja mówię po polsku I yo hablo un poco español. I'm hoping to use my language skills to become a translator one day. I even went to school in Poland. I may not be an education expert, but I guess I've gained some knowledge over the years, whether it's from those 4 long, grueling hours in Polish school every Friday, or just talking to my friends in Poland. Today I'll talk all things about European and American school systems, and we'll look deeply, are they really that different, and what are the pros and cons of each side? I'll try my best to hit most of the big points, such as transportation, schedules, high expectations, technology, and languages. Let's take a look at how America compares to other European countries. First, it's important to mention what this test even is the PISA test, which stands for Program for International Student Assessment. It's an international test that participating countries give to around 100 to 200 schools, depending on the size of the country. It's taken every 3 years. It's always a random 42 students at the age of 15 who are to take this test. The test focuses on 3 main subjects: math, reading, and science. Then those scores are gathered up, averaged, and then the countries can be ranked on their academic achievements. I actually took the test scores from science, math, and reading, and averaged them up to fit them on this chart. Looking at America, we ain't doing that well. That's what I'll try to show. And how are the other countries so high performing? And that's what I'll try to break down today. One of the shortcomings of European schools is their lack of transportation to and from school. There is none. Yep, you heard me. It's either public transportation or you walk. It's like the stories my parents told me, that they had to walk in the deep snow every day to school, and they swear it's uphill both ways. I'm not buying it. In order for me to get to school, all I have to do is walk a block down the street and hop on a bus, and then just get off. They say I have it easy. If you don't want to walk, there's always the other option: public transportation. This is their school bus, also known as a tram. It never comes straight to your home like ours. Many times there are delays and even dangers of unsafe people. Make sure you watch your wallet. Transportation is very, very, very important. Having transportation could boost students' academic performance through regular attendance and punctuality. One of the European schools' strongest attributes is the stability for its students. Classes are Monday through Friday with barely any holidays and no snow days. Yep, you heard me, no snow days. But it's true. Within that 5-day school week, the daily schedule might vary to fit the teacher's plans. If the teacher needs students for more time to finish a lab or lesson, for example, they'll keep their students for longer, no matter what. Also, classmates stay in every class together. Usually from day 1 of 1st grade, you stick with the same people up until 5th, even the same teacher. No changing. Then you can go from 6th to 8th or even till the end of high school with the same group of classmates. This eventually creates a bond that will last for a lifetime. Not mentioning the trust and fun times you could have, but it also allows the students to learn from each other. The teachers also get a sense of the students' work ethic and can work up with the students so that they can do their best. While in America, you have new classes every year with new people and schedules that change very often. Even at Conrad, you might have 6 or 7 different teachers in a single day. Finland, on the other hand, takes a complete different approach from what other European countries do. They place their students in a school that interests them and that will benefit them for future jobs. For example, you want to be an electrician, they'd put you in a school that has very good science programs and that could give you a lot of hands-on things with electricity and electronics that could better prepare you for your jobs. No matter how the schools are organized, it seems to me that the European education system sets the bar very high for all their students. The slacking off I see in some of my classmates just wouldn't fly in Europe. In fact, we have a phrase for this kind of laziness. It's obiacja. Translated, this means hanging around. In other words, doing nothing. If you do this for long enough, you will fall behind and have to repeat a grade. Yep, you heard me. Repeat a grade. Summer school isn't really an option. This definitely motivates the students to do and try their best. And it's quite embarrassing if you have to learn with kids a head shorter than you. This actually happened to a friend of mine. He was failing math towards the end of the year, but then took a test and finally passed it. Moving on, another difference between our school systems is the requirement to learn a second language. In Europe, not only are the students required to learn a second language throughout their education careers, but sometimes students even have to add in a third. They begin learning a second language, usually English, from a very young age, such as first grade up until the end of their education. I'll give you a few seconds to read about the benefits of learning a second language. It has been proven that people who are bilingual or multilingual push back the odds of developing Alzheimer's by about 3 years and even have better memorization skills. Believe it or not, many of these high-performing European countries actually lack basic technology such as intercom systems and projectors that we consider normal in schools, but they consider a luxury. Even teachers lack basic technology like laptops and computers to take attendances, and even send emails among other teachers. They do it old school. But can you imagine not having a Chromebook? Bring me back to that horrible story of my parents carrying those heavy books. But what can be done? There are many things that we can learn from European schools and that they could learn from us. There will never be a clear winner. We can only get so close to perfect, but we have to make a change. As Winston Churchill said, to improve is to change, to be perfect is to change often. Thank you.